Jesus is teaching in the synagogue. His authority fills not just the place, but each person there. And almost immediately, this man with an unclean spirit shows up. The presence of Jesus, the man with a clean spirit, draws out the presence of the man with an unclean spirit. Jesus has that effect on people. His authority and teaching reveal the truth about his listeners' lives. This one with the unclean spirit is an image of what the lives of those in the synagogue look like. His uncleanliness is not about his personal hygiene or immorality. Instead, his presence describes the disease of their soul, their fragmented lives, and the many voices within them. In looking at him, they see themselves and they are astounded by the contrast of the one who has the clean spirit. What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? He senses the distance between his life and Jesus's. His words betray his isolation. It's not, however, just about him. He speaks out not only for himself, but for all those in the synagogue that day. He represents everyone who has ever experienced the brokenness of life. He is the spokesperson for all who feel disconnected from themselves, others, or God. He represents the human condition. Behind his question, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth?" I believe is the unspoken longing and hope that Jesus would say, "Everything. I have everything to do with you." Those are the words that can begin to put his life back together. We're not so different. Each one of us also longs for that answer because we too know the separation and brokenness of our own lives. We've lived in isolation. We've been trapped in grief. We have carried the burden of guilt. The truth of those situations often reveals itself in the many personas we wear. At some level, we all project various personas or images of how we want others to see us and how we want to see ourselves. Sometimes it's as simple and seemingly silly as saying, "I can't go to the grocery store looking like this. I have no makeup on and my hair is a mess." Or we smile and say, "Yes, everything is fine," and quickly change the subject when the truth is we're hanging on by a thread and not sure how we will get through the rest of the day. We don't want our life to be seen in its unmade-up condition. We use our personas as masks to hide the truth of what our life is like and who we are. The tragedy is that they also hide who we might become. It seems that those masks most often arise from the many voices that live within us. They're the voices of condemnation and guilt, grief, fear, anger, and judgment. They are the voices that keep us in constant comparison and competition with others. They are voices demanding perfectionism, asking, "What have you done for me today?" The voices are never satisfied. We are never able to do or be enough. Every one of those is a false voice. The voice of the unclean spirit that separates us from our authentic self, from all that we love and all who love us. We're such funny people, Deep down, we long for intimacy and authenticity, but the last thing we want to do is to be found out, to have someone see us for who we truly are and who we are not. So we put on a good front, hoping that will gain us approval, acceptance, love. We say the right things, act the right way, dress and behave the right way, even believe the right way, and all the while we're creating ourselves in the image and likeness of the unclean spirit. The irony is that those fronts we put up, those personas, keep us from having the very things we think they will gain for us. Things like intimacy, love, acceptance, healing, forgiveness, and authenticity. The personas offer no possibility for life to flourish and be abundant. Still, we hold on to those false voices, voices that collectively ask, "Have you come to destroy us?" That is exactly what Jesus has come for. He has come to destroy. He silences our false voices. He casts out all our personas and makes us people with a clean spirit. He has everything to do with us. He stands before us as the mere image of who we can become. There is no aspect of our life about which he is not concerned. He calls us into our true self, the one made in the image and likeness of God. He calls us back into the beauty and wholeness of our original creation. Today's gospel is as much about calling forth as it is about casting out. The true voice and the true image are always present. That's why the man with an unclean spirit can cry out, "I know who you are, the Holy One of God." He speaks from a deep place of knowing. His recognition of Jesus is at a profound level, a recognition of himself and his own holiness. For every voice that denies, that leaves us crying, "What have you to do with us?" Jesus says, "Shh, be quiet. That's not who you are. You are mine, and I have everything to do with you."